Welcome back everyone. Sunday morning here in Spain, and we're out for a walk with the dogs. Before it gets too hot, it's been 40 degrees here over the last few days, so we're getting them out early for their walk. Sunday, one of the things that I love about Spain on a Sunday is that everything's closed. All the big stores, all the DIY centres, everywhere, at least outside the tourist areas, are closed, and that's because in Spain Sunday is still a family day. And like I've said before, it sort of takes you back to the 1970s here in many respects, where you know, the family situation is more respected here, I would say. And one of the questions that people have been asking me recently is that how does it feel to be a foreigner? And also, people have been saying about, you know, we have a moan about what's going on at home whilst being a foreigner myself in a foreign country. Well, there's a huge difference, and this morning I've read a report in the paper about the UK is now paying out £1 billion a week. That's £1,000 million a week on foreign benefit, foreigners receiving benefits in the UK. £1,000 million every week is being given away. Taxpayers' money, your money and mine, because they're still paying tax back in the UK, for now at least. That will be changing soon. £1,000 million a week. Can you even imagine? That's an unthinkable amount of money, isn't it? And for me, for my family, it's precisely the opposite. Since I've been in Spain now, which is about, what, 6 weeks? 5, 6 weeks? I have spent an obscene amount of money in moving my family from the UK to Spain. And the Spanish government and the Spanish tax system has already had a lot of money from me and my family for the pleasure of being here. So for those that can't spot the difference, there it is. When the British come to Spain, we spend a load of money, and we contribute massively to the government here, the system here, private healthcare. The stories you're reading in the paper about the Spanish being annoyed with the British, and it's not just the British, it's the Dutch, the Belgians, the French, the Germans, the Swedes. The people they're annoyed with are the ones that are coming here, buying homes and then buggering off and leaving them empty. Now I get that, that is annoying. But again, for the detractors out there that point to that and say, you know, we're hypocritical, well, that's going on in the UK big time, but probably on a 10 times basis. I mean, the amount of property that is bought up by foreign investors in the UK and left empty is obscene, especially in places like London. Whereas here in Spain, at least, it's not ideal, but at least the people that are buying homes rent them out as holiday lets, etc., which does again contribute to the Spanish system, in stark contrast to a lot of what goes on at home. So this is beautiful. We're out for a little walk in the Spanish woods here. One thing that is a little bit disappointing is that they do tend to leave a bit of rubbish around. Things like this. Yeah, it could be a bit tidier in some areas. There's a bit of rubbish, and you wouldn't really expect to see that in your local forest, but it's not everywhere, just here and there. But the dogs are loving it here, and the cats, because they go out. It's like the Wild West for the cats. God knows what they're going to bring home next. Something else that's going to be quite exciting, I think, for this channel. A friend of a friend has introduced me to someone that, hold on a minute, I've got to do a bit of climbing here. Here we go. A friend of a friend has introduced me to a property guy out here that has access to a lot of really nice properties. And he's given me permission to film one or two and show you guys what you get for your money out here. And I've taken him up on the offer because I think it will make for a great video. I love the forestry out here, look. Yeah, I think that will make for a great video, or two, or three even. I've learned quite a bit since I've been here about the property situation. Some areas it's really expensive, some areas it's a fair bit cheaper. What I've found is if you want to be in walking distance of any towns or anywhere where there's a bit more to do, shall we say, then the price goes up quite significantly. If you want to go out a little bit and you're happy to be somewhere where it's a 10-minute drive to the local shops, then you can pick up something really quite reasonable. I know where Danny lives, down in Mercia, the prices down there are considerably lower than they are where I am right now, which is about 20 minutes outside of Benidorm. This is quite an expensive area, and I think the reason is because you've pretty much got everything that you could want right on your doorstep. The mutt's loose. Let's have a look at the dog. They're not used to Rottweilers out here. They don't see many. So the reaction to him is often a bit, oh, it's a big dog, big Perro. They're a bit wary of him, but he's as good as gold. He's a friendly boy, as long as you don't touch my wife. If you get too close to her, then he can be a different kettle of fish. If they could come along and beat me up, he wouldn't bat an eyelid. But the wife, that's a different story. But they've been a bit quieter since we've been here. I think it's the heat. So he's managed to behave himself a bit more. He's got the manners of a pig, if I'm honest, but generally that's Rottweilers. If you've never had a Rottweiler, you've got to have owned them to understand what they're like. I tend to find they're very much a woman's dog. They love the girls. We've had two now, and they've been identical in personality and character. They're all about the women. The Rottweilers, all about the girls. And if you go on YouTube and have a look around at Rottweiler videos, it's mostly women that own them, funnily enough. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like there's been a bit of show jumping. This is the sort of height that I would have been jumping if I'd still been riding my horses. Yeah, that'd do me. I can step over that one. Oh, look, there's a tent over there. I don't know if you can see it. Cheap way of living, I guess, in a nice, beautiful area. So yeah, £1 billion a week being given away, your money, to people that have come to the UK and are living off the back of the UK taxpayer. £1 billion a week, £1,000 million. So for the naysayers out there who tell me that I'm a hypocrite for coming to live out in Spain as a foreigner. Do your maths, get your facts right, and understand why we moan. Because that £1,000 million that is being spent every week on people that were supposed to come to our country to benefit it could have been spent on heating allowances, hospitals, childcare, care for our senior citizens, care for our former service men and women. I can think of a million things that we could spend £1,000 million a week on, other than people that have come to the UK to suck it dry. I think that's fair enough. And I think it would be very hard for anyone to defend those figures, to defend those stats. Yeah, it's a terrible situation. I am proud to have been able to come to Spain, and proud to be able to contribute to the system here. I don't want anything for free, not a single penny. And even if it was offered, I wouldn't take it. We will pay our way, we will pay our dues. I don't expect to be at the front of any queues. I'm a foreigner in a foreign country. I will be and should be at the back of the queue for everything. The Spanish people come first, and they come before any foreigner as far as I'm concerned. I'm here to respect their traditions, their beliefs, their country. I'm here to adapt to their way of life, not the other way around, and that's how it should be. And that's a lesson that people living in the UK should learn, that when you go to a foreign land, you adapt to the foreign land. You don't expect the foreign land to adapt to you. Let me know if you agree, let me know if you disagree, and if you do disagree, tell me why. Tell me how you disagree and why I'm wrong. I don't think I am. Right guys, that's it for now. We'll be back with the live streams again very soon, maybe even tonight, I'm not sure yet. I've got to speak to Danny. We're going to be on with Richard again soon as well. As always, take care, look after those beautiful children. I'll see you soon.